You recently talked about how Andrew Tate is it was a setup.
Yeah, oh, you think?
No, I just want to hear what you're.
What?
I think so too, but I want to hear your whole synopsis on it.
At some point, so Andrew Tate, who I'm not, an intimate friend of, or anything, I've talked to him.
You had him on the show, right?
I had him on the show, yeah, for like 40 minutes, and then I've talked to him just personal offline once or twice. He's first of all, he's really smart. Mm-hmm. Like, that's completely real.
100%.
And I'm almost 54, so I'm really old. So there are parts of what he says that are like so far out of my world or context or experience that, like, as you get older, you're like, I'm not exactly sure what this means.
Like OnlyFans and shit, right?
Right. I was like, what? That whole, so there's a lot. I was saying, I'm just being honest. There's some that I miss about Andrew Tate, but the spirit that animates Andrew Tate is very clear and very obvious, and it's not a malicious spirit at all. Andrew Tate's core message is respect yourself. Act like you're worth something. Achieve something. Do something. Get the fuck off the couch. Put down the porn. Like, go do something with your life. You're given this amazing thing, your life. And what are you going to do with it? And I feel like that's the greatest message that anyone could give. And, I mean, that's how I read Andrew Tate's message. So, of course, it just tells you everything about the people in charge that's threatening. How is that threatening? Yeah. So that's self-improvement. Now, you may not agree with or understand some things that Tate says, which is where I am. Like, what? But that's not the point. The point is, what is he, underneath it all, what is he saying? He's saying, respect yourself. You are worthy of respect. Live in a way where others will respect you. That is the most needed message anyone can hear. So, of course, they have to figure out a way, but why would they want to? It tells you everything about the people. So, I'll say, the most interesting thing about Andrew Tate is not Andrew Tate. It's the reaction to Andrew Tate. Why is that bad? I have a son. If someone told my son, respect yourself, be worthy of respect, get up early, exercise, achieve something, I'd be like, thank you. I mean, that's the message I give my son anyway, because I'm a father. So the interesting thing about Tate is that is considered threatening. Why would that be threatening? Right. Because you don't want an independent, self-respecting population in your country. That's why. And so they've like, oh, Andrew Tate's a sexual harasser. The same people who, were on Pedo Island with Epstein, the same people who are friends with Harvey Weinstein are like, oh, we're protecting women. Really?
You think? I always try to understand this, though. Where does that come from? Because that's such a high-level thing. Like, let's destroy a guy that's trying to, like, I feel like it's improved society. Like,
because his
influence is too powerful. No, but I'm saying who? Like, what group? Like, where does that come from?
So I would say, and the short answer is I don't know. Yeah. Okay. But all I know is what I read and see. And it's, from what I can tell, on the basis of my limited knowledge, this is a conspiracy of like-minded instincts. It's not that every douchebag in the world has a conference call every morning to decide how we can suppress the human spirit, but all of them have the same reaction to Andrew Tate. It's like, oh, he's speaking to young men, and he's telling them, stop being passive. Do something impressive with your life. Act. Not to overthrow the government, but just be a man. Yeah. And that is so threatening to them that, and I'm talking about the media, heads of state, which are the two main players in this ongoing effort to suppress and degrade and to kill the spirit of the population, that they act effectively as one. They do. And I'm sure that there's very clearly coordination among different elements of this group, but the people who are benefiting from the way our society, not just in the United States or Canada, but throughout the West, is organized, the people who are the beneficiaries of that, all the people with bullshit jobs who work at NBC News or some stupid nonprofit that's doing the Atlantic Council, do you know what I mean? All the people whose jobs are effectively unjustifiable. Like, what are you doing exactly to make this a better, freer, more prosperous society? They have no answer because they're not doing anything. They're doing the opposite. All of those people see Andrew Tate and they're like, that guy has to shut up. Mm-hmm. So they make this completely fake video about how he raped some woman who turns out to be his girlfriend, who goes on camera to say, no, I love Andrew Tate. So the victim in the crime endorses the supposed perpetrator like it's bullshit by definition, right? Mm-hmm. He raped you. No, he didn't. He's my boyfriend. I love him. Yeah. Okay. So you know that the people who are opposing Tate are acting out of malice and in a dishonest way, and that's kind of all you need to know. And then all of a sudden he winds up in a Romanian jail for months on no charges? Yeah. What? And you can't get anybody to mention because, he's a misogynist. A misogynist? Really? A misogynist. We live in a world where the people who run everything were friends with both Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and are endorsing the idea that women don't exist as a group. I can just show up and be like, I'm a woman now. I have the lived experience of a woman. I've never menstruated. I've never had a baby. I have no female organs. I don't have female DNA. I don't have a female brain, but I'm a woman. What are you saying when you endorse that idea? You're saying that women literally don't exist. It's not an actual category. Anybody can choose to be that. Yeah. If I have a club and there's no membership requirement, anyone can go. It's not really a club, is it? It's a public park. Right. That's what they're saying about women. Mm-hmm. You just are if you say you are. And those people are giving us a lecture about misogyny. Like, oh, bullshit. Yeah. Sorry.
It's funny. But how do they?
I like women, actually, because they're totally different. I don't understand like 80% of what they say. I don't need to. I'm married to one for 32 years. I have 3 daughters. I think they're like fascinating and interesting because they're so different. I listen super carefully to what they say.
What's the biggest thing you've learned in your marriage about women?
They're amazing, that they compliment us. So your average young man looks at women, if we're being totally honest, and is like, they're dumb. They're easy to fool. Like, I can talk him into sleeping with me. And like, men get this attitude, like, women are dumb. And the reason they feel that way is because women have a completely different way of seeing the world that's innate, it's inherent. Their brains are different, measurably. Which is why I hate the trans thing, because it's pretending that some guy with a male brain, who's not at all in any sense a woman, can become a woman with plastic surgery. No, it's an insult to the complexity and the mystery of women, which if you're, in a long-term marriage, you really confront it on a daily basis. What you learn when you get married and you like decide like, no, I'm staying with you. I'm helping you raise your children. I'm going to die next to you. Like, you really make the commitment and you can't get out of it. Then you're forced to confront who women really are, and you learn they're amazing. They think things that they're not interested in the same kind of theoretical bullshit your average man is. They're not going to sit around and dip Copenhagen and like theorize about, well, the world is, they're not going to come up with a unified theory of everything in the way that you guys do when you smoke weed. But they have all kinds of other like crazy insights into people. They force you to think about the world in a really different and really important way. And it takes a long time to learn that. And your average man who's in a relationship long-term with a woman, married or not, has a moment where he's like, I don't understand what she's saying. This is freaking me out. She's crazy. I'm leaving. And whether it's leaving, like just taking off with your buddies, or leaving for good, men can't deal with it because they don't understand it. But if you're forced to stay there over the long term, if you decide to stay there over the long term, you realize, no, she's not, maybe a little crazy, but a little crazy in a way that's great. It's like so fascinating. It's unbelievable. Why do you see it that way? Because my brain's totally different from yours. And then you realize even longer term, like, I really needed to hear that. I needed to learn that. So the things you learn from women are not like how you can be more like a woman. Like, that's like, the thing, like, women make you more sensitive. Not really. In a happy relationship, you don't become more feminine when you live with a woman. You just become wiser.